Good afternoon all. Today we are going to do a session called Bharat on Platter, and with me I have three wonderful panelists. Chef Komal Prabhu, Millet Babu, and Laxmi Shenoy. Each of them have their expertise in different areas. So let me just give a small brief introduction about them, and then I'll go on to give a briefing about how each of them specialize in the area of food. So Chef Komal Prabhu, the Maharani of Ghee Roast, she is very well known as the Maharani of Ghee Roast, embarks on a dynamic culinary journey from a business and political family. Born to you, Sadashiv Shenoy and Shanti Shenoy, she navigates an unexpected shift during transformative years in a military school, fostering independence. Marriage at 18 leads her to Bantwal's rustic charm, where a dance performance captivates entrepreneur who became her life partner in future. Together, they venture into cashew processing with Prabhava Cash Processors, paving the way for her culinary odyssey with Srinivasa Residency in Maharaja Family Restaurant in Mangalore, mark milestone showcasing her relentless pursuit of excellence in GSP delicacies. Resilient against adversities, she shares culinary expertise beyond Maharaja, influencing the gastronomic landscape for over 30 years, while her sons contribute proudly to the ventures now. Welcome, ma'am. You're welcome to the thing. With us, there's another epitome of expertise in food. Babu is an epitome of simplicity with a childlike enthusiasm, always eager to learn what our ancestors have done effortlessly and efficiently to maintain our health. At the same time, he is always conscious of the environmental changes and tries to live with less carbon imprints. He had done an immense research in our ancient cooking, cultivation and preserving the original seeds, and healing with natural ingredients. He had roamed all around India and lived with tribals to learn the same. He is an inspiration to many all over India as one of the first ones to promote millet, and he is fondly remembered as or referred as Millet Babu. Welcome, sir. You're welcome to the panel. Up next, we have Laxmi Shenoy, a food enthusiast, a blogger with over a decade of experience in the food industry, brings a wealth to expertise to the table. As the founder of ETC, etc., her agency specializes in comprehensive solutions for restaurants, spanning social media management, event coordination, marketing, PR, and consultancy in Mangalore and Udupi. Laxmi seamlessly blends her passion for food, travel, and business, creating a dynamic presence in the culinary world. Welcome, Laxmi. Welcome to the thing. So, Bharat on Platter is just a small feeling that we are going to bring in together how different food today has reached all through social media, through various other things, and how food has become part and parcel. Now, whenever we go out, whenever we see things outside, we always think of, I should search for food, I should think of food that is available in the other region, I should eat that. And with a lot of packaging, a lot of tendencies to bring it to different places, we have today seen that the food has reached all regions. Because I can even now see that Khevar has come to Mangalore, or some other food from some other parts has reached Mangalore, whereas our Mangalorean cuisine has reached almost all over the world and also the globe. So this has been a trend. With this trend, I would like to ask my panelists a few of the questions and try to understand how it has been working. So first, ma'am, to address it, how do traditional Indian cuisines, do you think, play a role in preserving cultural identity in the rapidly changing world today?
Today the change is big and a huge evolve that is involved. But the traditional way is always been preserved by our elders, and I think it is going to be cherished and taken ahead by our generation and the next generation, because it has lot of value, medical as well as our day-to-day running. Today, everybody is in the run of the mill for lifestyle diseases, wherein people are thinking that nutrition and probiotic and other things are needed. But what is that our elders have done? And if you go with the Tanjana or the, yeah, what is that? That
Churnas.
yes, all that is probiotic itself. So I feel, yes.
No, when we talk about tradition, I mean, like, does the food cooking today, way we cook, like microwave it and do so many
Yes.
other things, how does it differ from the traditional way of
Of
it?
course. So there was a time when it was cooked on fire and being served. Today it went to the gas stove and now it is electrical.
Yeah.
And the service also has changed.
Yes.
There was a time when the mother used to serve, or if it is a big occasion, there were people from the from the fire to the people. Today it is not like that. It is cooked, packed, and then served in buffets and table. Earlier
Deliveries.
people used to sit down and eat, and there was space for the stomach to save some. Today it's not like that. We are sitting, we are standing and eating where you are full.
Okay. Okay, so if we transfer the same question to you, I mean, how do you think the tradition or culture is still maintained, or it gives a better?
Yeah. Whatever the face of the food nowadays, what we are seeing in outside, but essence should not be changed. Okay. Our Indian food culture, legacy of our Indian kitchen is so strong, so cultural and diversified thing. Whatever the things are using in the kitchen, those are all the medicine. Our kitchen is our primary pharmacy.
Okay.
Our kitchen design, our Indian kitchen design demands a physical activity.
Yes.
Okay, our physical activity is very much required for our body. Our olden cultural time, if you see our kitchen, because this is a tropical country which needs a physical activity for our body. Then only we are eligible to eat or have the eligible to eat the food. Nowadays we are sitting and eating, where work culture is different. But even though I am developed, but the problem with the sun, not with the human. I'm kidding. Okay, sun morning sunrise to sunrise to sunset. That then only our body releases the segregates the digestive juices. Then only we could digest properly and it assimilates into our body. But we are developed. Humans develop. Even night also we make the day with the power and all. Okay. But only problem is with the sun. Sun finishes his duty at 6 o'clock. He is going away. We all should appeal the sun, extend your duty till night 12, so we can get the time to eat it late night food. That's why whatever we develop, we are going ahead, but nature is the nature. We should follow the nature so that our culture has totally designed, our cultural food is totally designed as per the seasons, as per the region, as per the local, and it's not, food is not something which fills my stomach and which gives the health to me. It should understand the ecological ecosystem. I am eating fish in my thali means it should be local. Okay, that's why it's more, whatever the development we are going ahead, but our cultural roots is very much important to preserve, especially in the food sector.
Yes, Laxmi, what is your say on
Okay. I think it exists. I think, there is a coexistence of the traditional and the modern. And these binaries don't exist in this postmodern era currently. So if you go to see, these binaries are slowly diluting. There's no compartmentalization of food. It's going to be a borderless society for me, where, there is a kind of a give and take with cultures. As you go on traveling to, the every parts, we have taken, culture that's, not existing, not traditionally there in that particular culture. So I see that the borderless food is going to be the future of traditional food.
Yeah, but then, see, certain food is forced on us. For example, like if you take, we are being like consuming as a health food as oats and other things, which may not have been part of our food culture earlier. we traditionally, when we think of food, we see each region had its own food, and so there had been an ecological balance what we ate, like coconut oil is for South Canara, groundnut oil is for North Karnataka, and so on and so forth. So has there been that kind of an impact? Does it make a difference that really this food culture is going to change the societal aspects?
Very much as you said, ma'am, the staple food is that keeps you healthy and grows. As a chef, when I feel introducing different, as we are in the social media and today everything is accessible through Google and other things. So we do adapt and try to improvise or put in certain things. But the truth by a chef is only when you have your staple food and your grounded traditional food, a person is going to be healthy. Because it's my own experience in my own restaurant. Despite I am having 4 different cuisines, people come running back to me for the traditional Mangalorean and GSB cuisine.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
I have big people walking down to my restaurant with a call before they take a flight and say, Komal, I would want to eat the GSB cuisine.
Okay.
GSB is the Gauda Saraswat Brahmin. We have very little spices, we have very little of things to be cooked, but amazingly done and tasted. One of our delicacies is Dali Tove. And when Mangalore comes, it is rich with all different community cuisines, which have their own importance and value when it comes to taste. Same ingredients used in a different way. I think it will surely make a difference and have an impact because we have adapted to different cultures from the West and the East. Despite once or twice, then they go back grounded to their own traditional food. Because I've seen children, even though they go for fun time and other things, they jump inside and say, Auntie, mere ko ek butter chicken aur thoda sa roti dena. So this is, despite everything that is available in the town, tradition will pursue its, yes.
Okay. Okay. Just wanted to know regarding the culinary industry contribution. It has been quite there, but what are the sustainable practices to protect the environment or conserve the environment in the country? I mean, do you see anything that's still existing?
Yeah, of course. Food is directly connected to the environment. Okay,
Yes.
I'm eating means I'm connected to the mother nature. Okay, okay. It grows from the mother earth and it comes to my platter. That means we are directly connected to the mother nature. That means our Indian kitchen always we change the spices, we change the ingredients as per the season. Suppose this is the seasons winter. Okay, winter, summer, rainy. 3 seasons if we divide. This is the season of portion. Okay, we should give more food to our body. Our body has more pitta, that is the Agni Tattva. That's why this is the season of the roots, season of the tubers, Geneshu, all the things are available this season because our body needs more protein food this time. And if you take the summer time, that is from October to Chaitra Mas, we need to give good food. From Chaitra Mas to rainy season, that is a prakshalana time, that is a detoxifying. That's why you can see in the nature, that time,
Not Chaturmas.
Chaitra Mas, Chaitra Mas to the
Ashada
Mas.
No, it
Okay,
is from
okay,
April
only
to
before Ashada Masa starts. That time our body needs a detoxification. That's why if you see in the Ugadi time and all, tender leaves, tender things and green leaf things are more there. And waterish vegetables are there. Like that, that means nature, our food is totally synchronized to the natural environmental, biodiversity. That's in our India has, if you see the Puri Jagannath temple, that kitchen and Udupi Krishna kitchen, they follow pakka that kind of tradition in the kitchen. That means they preserve, indirectly they are preserving the nature. Nature is we are giving the materials to our next generations. We are not able to provide the pure water, pure food, pure soil to them. But this is a high time food means we should think about how to balance our food, our ecosystem.
Okay.
It's a high time. That's why I'm requesting to all, before you start the cooking, every day you feel that I am not only cooking the food, I am cooking the Amrit and Aushad. Okay? I always feel that I am the Brahma. When I enter the kitchen, I feel I am the Brahma. Because whatever food I cook, it goes to their bellies. That means it transforms to the Saptadhatus. Rasarakta, Mamsa, Majja, Asti. That means it transforms into the creation. That means that intention should, when the intention comes to us, then only we should understand the nature or in between, what is the rasta between nature and us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like to understand something about the impact of globalization, how it has changed the Indian cuisine in the global scenario, how it has given a different impact, like different place in the market.
Okay. I think the globalization is for real. Because if at all you see this small place like Mangalore, I'm sure none of us are loyalists. There's no person who is a single loyalist. Morning he'd like to go to probably a restaurant and have his idli sambar, and in the afternoon he'd like to try the jolad roti that's available. In the evening he wouldn't mind having a McDonald's burger, and in the night he'll go to this very plush Pan-Asian restaurant and indulge in this Pan-Asian delicacies. So yes, that's what globalization has done. It's given the the variety of food at our fingertips. It's increased the choices for the customer. It's given the power to the customer. Earlier when restaurants were in business, there's like, okay, this is what we give and this is what you can take. But now it's not like that. It's much more a consumer-friendly environment out there. That's what globalization has done.
No, but on the contrary, like, how it has reached to the people. Now, for example, if you take Mangalore, I think you're getting more than what you want. I mean, other than Mangalorean dishes or other than anything here, you are getting anything Pan-Asia or all of the continental food here. So has it changed the food understanding by the people, and the demand for the local cuisines, has it reduced, or has
Absolutely
it been?
not. Absolutely not. That's what I do not want to stick by these binaries calling the traditional and the modern food. It's a borderless. There's no single person who will say, no, I'm going to eat only traditional food and not this. So there is umpteen number of people who will opt for a lot of options. And yes, globalization has been a result of this.
Okay. Ma'am, I would like to know whether the promotion of local dishes or regional dishes, the local ingredients, will it boost tourism and other things? Do you think so? I mean, does it make that, okay, people should only come to your restaurant to have something which is very traditional, very rooted to this place or something like that?
Ma'am, your question is apt because today Mangalore has its iconic places. It's not only my restaurant, there are many iconic places where you get this very traditional Mangalorean cuisine, as well as we GSPs are known for as fish eaters. So generally it is a lot of places that have been the iconic place. Why is it not? There are other places with different cuisines also. But why are these become the iconic place? That's because they have the traditional way of cooking. And if you ask my place, I am a person who cooks very traditionally. I have very minimal amount of artificial flavors added. All my masalas are done by me. And that's where, as Sir said, we pray before we go into the kitchen.
Yes.
And we serve the Mother Earth before we start our cooking. Or the first cooking is given to the Mother Earth, so that whatever we have done may or may not be good, but it is first given to you.
Yeah.
So that is the very, very most traditional way of offering food to Mother Earth. And then we pray to Lord that whatever we serve people is being digested well.
Okay.
So that is a very traditional way. And when you come to these spices, as you add the spices, that is, you play with the spices.
The aroma itself.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's what we train our chefs. Because when the spice gets into the masalas, it has to create one beautiful flavor that is our Mangalore.
Yeah.
Amchi Mangaluru.
Okay.
So I, as a Mangalorean chef, would always love to showcase my Mangalorean and GSB cuisine. And I have been that iconic place. I've heard people coming all over the world. From all over the world, there is a cycle from Jan to December. I have the Western people, I have the Eastern people coming to eat the coconut and the rice. I think the Eastern people are very accustomed to the coconut gravy and the rice, dosas and everything. So, and in our domestic, we have people coming in the June and so traditional way of cooking will cherish its own customers in the market.
Okay, okay, that I get it, because there is a lot of, feel like end of the day, okay, I want to go to that particular place, especially when I talk about Udupi, we say Mitra Samaj is something, end of the day, we would
Correct.
like to go get the
Correct.
typical flavors there and so on and so forth.
Maybe the traditional cooking is reducing now. And of course, we also are planning of robotic and other things. But finally, it is the hand that matters that can make magic.
Okay, that's interesting one. So I just want to know from you, like, what initiatives can be taken to address what the challenges are faced by these small-scale farmers and local producers for Indian food supply?
Yeah, now it's a tough time for them, but I'm requesting the people, local people, okay, we always feel that we have the family doctor. Why don't you a family farmer? Okay, why don't you choose your family farmer? Okay, weekends, go and spend with them. Bring your kids to their place, and you just give your local seeds to that farmer. You make ensure that, okay, you give the surety that we only take it back. Like that, in your colony, make some group and just adopt a farmer, okay, and give the added value for his producers. Okay. If he produces more local any vegetable, you can sun dry it or something, you can make added value for it, make a chips or what, added value. Okay. Suppose 1 kg of jola is equal to 30 rupees, 20 rupees. If you make a suji, rava, it gives 80 rupees. If you make a chakli, it makes 500 rupees. Okay. Give the additional added value for that product. Okay. Like that you can help them. Okay, give the ideology. Okay,
yeah, but
just like her, she has that capability, that skill. Okay, I can give the technicality. She has the exposing. She has that showcasing. That if you mix up and match up all the things, then we can flourish their life. Okay.
Okay. No, with that I would like to add, and just want to know whether technology can be incorporated in that,
Yeah.
and
Of
can
course.
it help in any
Of
ways?
course. Anything is updating our, enhancing our life. I am not against any culture. I am anything which added value. Okay, even I am a favor to the South America culture also, because anything which is a deep-rooted one is good. Okay, it's added a value for your journey. It's a good. Okay, provided our essence should not change.
Yeah.
Our essence should not change. You can, okay, our face should be changed, but essence should be same.
Okay. I would want to know that from all of you, like, culinary arts have contributed in fostering cross-culture understanding and appreciation of food. So what you would like to say? I mean, like, have you brought in any change in the food apart from the local cuisine, or any addition, the way you put the platter, the way you think? I mean, there's a demand in a different way, or?
I would like to say today every other way is available in the market. Only the traditional way, pursuing or keeping that tradition alive is very important. And that's what I'm doing. And all the other places you get different cuisines, it's been, as she said, globally, people are knowing and understanding, and the restaurants and the hospitality sectors are mushrooming. But who is that who is going to stand strong? And I label myself as Chef Komal Prabhu, Mangalorean and GSB chef.
Okay.
So I have gone into the MNC hotels and tried to showcase my food. And I have got that report that, yes, you are somebody who has the potential to grow. Because today GSB cuisine is becoming very popular. So why I tell this is, if Mexican and other cuisines, Korean cuisines can be great in India, why not GSB cuisine in the international market? This is my question to the world, that I want to stand for GSB cuisine and Mangalorean cuisine. I want to do it, and I will showcase it.
So what is your take on?
Okay. Yes, it is important that you need to present well, because food right now is not just for the tummy. It's for your all senses. It has to look good. It has to taste good. It has to be presented good. It has to be like, sanitized and things like that. Because right now the social media is so powerful that if something goes wrong, it's all out there.
Yeah, correct.
All on
Correct,
social
correct.
media,
Yes.
people are commenting, saying, and then, 10 people unfollow your page, 100 people stop coming to your restaurant. So the dynamics of the game has changed. The market itself is changing.
Yeah. So how do you suggest, if they demand, like, you are serving the food on a banana leaf, or there's some other expectation there. So do you think that change has to be brought in, or you give it, okay, this is how we are going to?
Okay. I work with one of the restaurants in Mangalore called BMS. They are traditionally a Jain restaurant serving typical traditional vegetarian food. But how we test the waters, if at all, to see how we introduce new things, is via festivals, via pop-ups, and chef takeovers. So we had this Italian festival because they didn't want to come out of their core. Their core is traditional food, because what they say is not everyone's going to eat a pizza and a burger every day. They're going to come back to masala dosa. They're going to come back to idli. How many days in a week can you eat this, the so-called modern food? So they want to stick to their core. But what we do is we introduce a lot of food festivals like Italian, Mexican, and things like that. We see, the pulse of the people, because I feel, you need to know the pulse of the people. You cannot stay, with a closed mindset saying, this is what I've been doing and this is what I'm going to be. No, that doesn't exist anymore. You have to change with time. You have to keep up with time.
So recently, I came across dosa, like, it's like a roll. So they have changed it a little bit in terms of food. There are multiple dosa. There's a pizza dosa. So I don't know how it's going to work, but how the palates are going to accept it. But on the contrary, I think it's been in the market, and that's adding on to their...
Again, it is like just showcasing it, ma'am. The base is dosa batter.
Yeah.
Whatever is involved is on the spread.
Yes.
So if it's a spring roll dosa, then there will be the spring roll stuff that is stuffed inside, rolled and cut. And if it is an paneer butter masala dosa, then it will have a spread. So finally, the base is the same. It goes with the batter. Otherwise, you can't call it a dosa.
Correct, but then the presentation makes a difference, I
Big
hope.
difference.
Yes.
Big difference.
And also it's Instagrammable. Your traditional masala dosas don't get to see, themselves on social media. But whereas you laid it with the, ghee roast or put a Coca-Cola, that's the kind of fusion that, the social media is showing us in terms of, the fusion food. That gives you Instagrammable. Something that, smoke coming out of it. You keep this thing, the nitrogen, molecular gastronomy, a smoke coming out. That's what sells now. So probably the packaging of the traditional food in a much more better manner, that is the way forward.
So what you want to give a thought on it? Like?
Actually, cultural exchange is not now at a moment we are seeing. Before British era, before Mughals era also, we had that beautiful cultural exchange. That's what our spices are traded to all corners of the world and all. Okay, almost the baking methods and all. We also had those baking methods from ancient time onwards. Okay. But if you see biryani or something, we have another version of biryani in our culture. Okay, biryani means biris in the Persian language. That means they don't have the water. They don't have the water to clean the vessels. They don't have the much vegetation. That's why it evolved in that place. Now it became very popular here. But in our area, khichdi is there, something like that. Okay. I created nearly 1,000 recipes with the millets. Okay, pregnancy diets, seasonal-wise diets, localized. That means those time onwards, when I did the little exploration, we have the beautiful culinary books written by the kings, King Mangasara, Supasastra. Okay, Kshema Kutuhala, King Nala by the Pakadarpan by the King Nala. In that he mentioned that the pizzas and everything, but the name is different.
Okay.
Okay, that means in thousands of years ago itself we had that beautiful connection with all the countries. Okay.
Yes.
One thing I sensibly I think why India has a rich culture means India could see the sun 365 days. 12 days day, 12 hours day, 12 hours night. Only India has that privilege.
Yes.
Okay, no other country has. That's why India has 70% of land has eligibility for the cultivation. That's why we have more landscapes, more water resources, and also that we have the very extensive diversified culture. We know the Pravara, no? Bhartakande, Bharatavarshe, Jambudvipe.
Dvipe.
That means according to the Pravara, India has divided it into 108 sectors. Okay, each sector has Bash, Bhojan, Bhavan, Bhushan are different. That's why you people are privilegedly and you are telling that Mangaluru cuisine and Udupi cuisine, even the 50 kilometers apart,
Yes,
you have
yes.
very beautiful cultural exchange and that
So true,
like
so
it.
true.
Yes.
That's my cultural exchange always be there, but the local delicacy, that essence is very much important. At the same time, if I born in somewhere, now I'm sitting here, okay, where I'm exchanging my ideology, I'm accepting you or you're accepting me. Okay?
Yes.
That should be always be there. Without that fusion, without that means like that pizza. Okay, same pizza can make by because I can't control my child. No, can't say I can tell pizza, maida is a very harmful our gut system, but I can't control him because when he step out of the house, he could be influenced by the society. But how to give same pizza in our localized material? The same. That is the most important.
Okay.
Learning pizza is good, but the essence should be local. That's what I would request the people to take it forward. Okay.
Okay, with the new trend and new thinking about health, now health conscious has become a very important factor amongst most of us, and they all limit themselves for the food. So, how do you think our traditional dishes can be made more healthy or more health conscious?
Of course, our traditional food
I mean,
has
wherever at points, I mean,
has its own value and own medical effects. If I could go one step further, my son, who is from the hotel management background, he has bought these pizzas, burgers, and noodles in a very different fusion, wherein he has made his own pizza base and put the Indian gravy and the South Indian gravy and made pizzas. And he has bought the burgers and he has not put patties. He's put a traditional ghee roast and other things and made burgers.
Okay.
And so the Maggi that is boiled, and then there's a dash of ghee roast put in that. So this is how we can actually, keep the traditional values and, grow in this today's market, because as Sir said or Laxmi said, that you can't stop the growth of modernization or anything, but you can adapt a change with the
yeah.
Yeah.
So because some of our traditional food require a lot of oil or
correct.
lot of fats and other things. It's made in ghee, like you take some savory sweets and all.
See,
So how can that?
Yes.
Yeah, that
See,
can be.
actually, the ghee, the coconut oil, and other things are values which help your bones, your internal organs. If you come to my place, we don't use more of other oils than ghee and coconut oil. Of course, we have the sunflower oil too, but there is no fourth oil that is walking in, because coconut oil has its own value. Of course, some don't like that smell because they are not accustomed to it.
Fragrance.
But ghee is universally accepted because it is butter or ghee. Even the Western, they don't mind if you put it ghee. So they love our ghee roast. So ghee roast has its own tradition and very long process of making. There is ghee roast everywhere in the town. But there is a very traditional way of doing it. And that's when you can hit the chilies with their spices. And it becomes very, their spiciness is hit. So everything has its own medical value. The ghee can hit the spice, and the coconut oil can soothe down the masalas. So there is a traditional value, but we have to grow with the modernization. With
Yeah, but then, we have to reduce the consumption of it or addition of it. Like, if we are using 50 ml, are we coming down to 25 ml for making it more healthier?
In restaurants, we have put processes wherein there is a measurement that is put. And in the homes, of course, today everybody is very, very nutrition and value for health is there. So I think that is being organized by the domestic as well as the commercial, but much more in this mushrooming hospitality, it is not taken by, and that's where we have a responsibility to speak up and mentor the chefs that we are very important for the upcoming society.
Okay, so what's your take on?
I think it's not packaged enough. I think, the healthy traditional food is not packaged well. For example, a quinoa would sell. A quinoa is selling. You see a lot of people opting for quinoa. They call it vegan. But what is vegan? If at all you see the GSB cuisine, almost 90% of it is vegan. But we never marketed itself as vegan. Okay? These cold pressed oils have always been in our culture. The enne that is,
Garnigai.
yes. Garnigai. But we never marketed it as cold pressed oil. But once this cold pressed oil has come to the market, everyone wants to know it. So the packaging of the traditional food, of the healthy food,
The
of
face
the millet,
should be modern.
yes, that's very important. I think that's lacking with traditional and healthy food.
Actually, eating oil food is not healthy. It's a myth only. Problem with the carbs. Okay, when the carbs only become a bad fat, but good fat, that is a cold press oils, that is a ganiga oil, and all the ghee is very good because it's rich in vitamin E and vitamin K. That is very much needed now. When you eat good oils, the good fat, our liver detoxifies everything. Okay, when you take the more carbs, okay, our kitchen, if you correct our kitchen, there is no need to go to the hospitals. इधर करप्ट हो गया इसलिए उधर जा रहा हूँ हम इसीलिए पहले इधर ठीक करना ओके myth is only carbohydrates is the issue and the complex protein is the issue okay not oil should be taken with the cold process so that it retains the vitamin E and vitamin K. Those are the fat soluble vitamins which cleanses our liver. It will become. Okay? That's why till now we are using, with this 40 years, we use the processed oils. Okay, by seeing the advertisement, it impacts our mind, all the processed things. It only affected our health. Okay, that's what I request you. I could tell that our elders used to drink ghee like anything. They were very healthy. They used the complex carbohydrates. Now we are using simple carbohydrates. Like that, we could balance our thali, okay? Not with the influence of the these things and all. Okay, that's why.
So, with the lack of time, I think I may have to cut short. If I could throw open some questions from the audience, if anyone wants to ask a few, yes, if they could be given a mic, please.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
More than a question, this is can I share one piece of information?
Yeah, sure, sir.
So the tradition and the regionality that two of you mentioned, it's actually rooted in science, I think, because 25 years ago, there's a Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology in Hyderabad. And they came out with a research where they said that if a person of a particular community eats food of some other community on a regular basis, then is prone to very big diseases like cancer and so on. And another result that they came out with was certain communities, for example, even in medicine, right? One particular community cannot tolerate anesthesia, for example, right? So they proved that, and they tied that the root cause analysis, as you would say, they said is linked to the DNA of the person, right? Is linked to the DNA of the person. So each community, they said, has a unique DNA which is designed, which can digest a particular kind of food. So the traditional food and the regional foods that you talked about is actually rooted in that science. So it will be very nice if you could dig deeper into that and use your social media influence to align people with that. That's one. Then two other small pieces of information. If you look at the impact of this, you can see it in NRIs, for example, right? NRIs, the heart problems appear much earlier than that's because they eat American food. A friend of mine has written a book along with a doctor there, saying how the foreign food impacts them negatively. One last comment: if you go to a really good Ayurvedic doctor who does pulse diagnosis, Nadi Shodhana, they'll be able to tell you what you have eaten. Somebody once told me 3 days ago you have eaten aloo bonda. So the impact of your food is there in your body. There are doctors who can see that.
Oh,
so
okay.
I hope all of you could root your expertise in science deeper and help spread that through your social media influence.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Anyone else have queries and questions regarding or want to ask the people?
Namaste, ma'am. So nowadays we see a lot of food bloggers and mukbangers and all in the social media. So every time you watch them, they are eating something very heavy, and in the long process, we also feel like our hunger increases all the time, and even we feel we should go and eat all those. So how can we control ourselves, especially kids?
I think Laxmi can give a answer over that.
With just a click of a button, you just unfollow them. No, on a lighter note, but yes, I think food has been very brilliantly portrayed right now. More than the taste of it, probably the presentation of it is what is selling, and that's.
The funny thing is that 6-inch controls the 6 feet. That's the issue.
No, the whole idea, see, our work is to send you the information. But it depends. As a social media people, from what we want to showcase. So if I say that there's a Pani Puri wala very good here, ultimately, yes, I'm going to show how it has to be eaten, how it is being made and all. Definitely, it will encourage you to eat it. But on the contrary, we can control ourselves if I don't want to go there.
Yeah, the uniqueness
That's
of India, the uniqueness of Indian food is, we tell always the food should be santush to snigdh and swadishtu. That means it should satisfy our taste buds as well as it should give the health and it should look very, like that. That's the thing. But when we are seeing the dieting means we always feel that eat less food or eat something like that. It's not like that. Okay, it belongs to the westernized culture. But
Eat
our India,
food.
eat food properly, but at the same time have proper physical activity. Okay, proper physical activity. Olden days, we pound, we grind, we do all household activities and farming activities, so that our every muscle has the rhythm of that movement, so that we could easily assimilate and accumulate the food, whatever we are taking. Nowadays, physical activity is the issue, and preservatives and processed food is the issues. Okay. Rest of the things is good. Okay. That's a thing you can. If you want to eat the puri, have the 2 puris, but have 4 kilometers walk after that or before that. That's the issue. Have 3 vadas, but have 5 kilometers walk before eat.
Is anyone? Yes. Just 1 second. I'll just take the.
Namaste to all. I'm Shreyas from Mangaluru University. So, to be very honest, I just entered the hall since it was regarding food, and I was a food tech student during my bachelor's. My one question is that in India, we, knowingly or unknowingly, we have a tendency to eat a lot more of carbs. It's, even when parents, when we try to convince them, no, this is not how a platter should look, they always say that, no, our ancestors were having like this, we are having like this, and you also must have like this. A heap of rice, and they don't mind even if you take the curries or not. They want you to have a heap of rice. And the more rice you take, the more rotis you take, the more happier, the bigger the mother's smile gets. So, my question is, how do you change this thought process? Like, unknowingly we are, adapted ourselves to that. Even the current generation might not be very fond of eating rice or something like that, but again they, are tending to eat more of sandwiches or something like that, which is having a lot of more of carbs. But now coming to this, timeline, it is like doctors do recommend that you have to fill half of your this one with more fiber, more protein-rich content. So how do we go about it?
Actually, olden days, we used to have the hand pound rice or red rice or indigenous varieties as right, okay? You can't eat like that. You should chew properly, then only it allows to gulp it, no? Nowadays, processed rice and white rice is the problem. Okay, go back to I am not against the rice, okay, but rice should be indigenous. When it comes from the mother nature, it has all the properties, all the healthy value. At the same time, it has a proper fiber. Then you go to that thing, you can't eat much, just like a processed rice. Okay, if you want to eat something cooked food, Manchurian, you can gulp it just like that. If you want to eat same carrot or something, you can't gulp it. You have to chew it. You understand? It doesn't allow you gulp it just like a carrot like that. Okay, that's why go for our traditional grains. Then it doesn't allow you to take much.
And
I understand what you're trying to say. If you go to our ancient times, there was a timetable of a meal 3 times a day. And there was no availability of food outside your home. Okay? You had to eat adequate and enough for the duration to the next meal. So today we call it as intermittent fasting. Okay? And then it was not there. So there was adequate food that was served and eaten and kept the store of power till your next meal. Even if you wanted to, you couldn't have a chocolate. But today, every step has a different meal that you can chew. So by the time you're home, you too don't want the carbs to be in, because you've had so much. So that is the change that has happened. It is not the carb or anything. It's the food availability that has been so much that our eating habits have changed. So we say fiber, today probiotic, fiber and all this. But the truth is the availability of food has become so much that we have forgotten that our ancient people used to eat what was necessary for our body inadequate. That's what your parents say.
If questions are over, we would like to end the session because there's a lack of time, and I would like to thank Komal, Prabhu, Laxmi, Shenoy and Millet Babu sir for being a good panelists and have given lot more information. Of course, we could have taken a lot more. I had a number of questions to further continue with, but this is the lack of time. So hope we will have some better sessions, on these lines only in the next time. So thank you all, and thank you for a good audience as such.
Thank you, dignitaries, for a healthy and tasty conversation there. May I request dear S. Ravi sir, Secretary of Mythic Society, to honor the dignitaries. That is Ravi sir, honoring Millet Ram Babu. Next, it will be honoring Miss Laxmi Shenoy, followed by honoring Chef Komal Prabhu. And yes, we had the wonderful moderator there, Miss Kavita Nagasampige. Thank you all. Audience, please note, the next session will be on Bharata Yatre Ondu Mathana by Lakshmish Tolpadi ji and Dr. G.B. Harish ji. A quiz time for the audience. During the conversation, Millet Ram Babuji said that he referred to 7 dhatus. Can anyone in the audience mention the 7 dhatus here? All the 7 dhatus. Yes, please try.
The Sapta Dhatus are Rasa, Rakta, Mansa, Majja, Asti, Meda, Shukra.